All right, welcome to DRSN. My name's Chris Murphy here, bringing you the MMS Money Racing Craftsman Truck Series at Talladega tonight. Some of the best money racers in iRacing here with us tonight. Got about 14 drivers, a little bit of a small field here, but 14 drivers going to put on one heck of a show. 14 of the best money racers you're going to see in the game here. So we're going to get going here pretty soon. They're getting qualifying started right now. We will pull up our tower here real fast, see if we can get anybody on the racetrack. It looks like we might have James Warring out on the racetrack right now and Corey Cheney as well. So we'll take a look here at James Warring making his laps. We've jumped in and ran a couple races with these guys over the weekend, and we felt it was probably better for us to stay in the booth. We're a little bit safer up here. We made a couple mistakes, got involved in a couple accidents, got wrapped up in a couple things of our own, so we're just going to stay up here in the booth tonight, bring you some good coverage. Some coverage here of the MMS Money Racing Series. So right now, James Warring down on the racetrack, Corey Cheney as well, and also Michael Barksdale in the 00 Barksdale Chevrolet. Gonna make some laps here, getting on the racetrack. It looks like it's gonna be Warring gonna make the first full lap on the racetrack as he is coming off a 4 down the front straight through the trioval for his first lap. Let's see what kind of lap he can put up. See the guy down on the apron here through the trioval. You're going to see that a lot in qualifying here with these trucks. Warring's going to come across the line. He is going to put up a time of a 54.79. That is a dang good lap here with these fixed setups. We'll see if anybody has anything for him. We take a look here at Kenneth McCullough, DSR Electric, McCullough Motorsports. Chevrolet going to get his laps in real quick, but I think we're going to have Corey Cheney coming across the line. You see him down there on the apron through the trials, going to come across the stripe. Corey Cheney going to put up a time of a 54.81, 200ths off of that first lap put up by James Warring. And actually, there's only one lap qualifying for this group. I just remembered that. We'll take a look at Barksdale. Barksdale also making his way around the racetrack in the 00 here, coming off a 4 right now, down through the trioval area. Let's see if Barksdale can take away that pole from James Warring. Barksdale also going to get down there on that apron, coming to the stripe through the trioval section. Here he comes across the line. Not going to be able to knock off the top two. Barksdale going to sit himself in the 3rd spot. We'll take a look here at McCullough. McCullough making his way down the back straightaway here for his qualifying lap. Now we'll see some of these guys won't even, these guys tend to qualify, so we'll see who chooses to stay down in the pit, but we can also see John Ward out on the racetrack, Richard Elliott as well, so we'll stay here with McCullough, watch him across the stripe, see what kind of time he can put up in the 03. As he comes down to the trioval area, makes his way past the pit entrance here at Talladega, down on the apron. McCullough going to come across the line. And he is going to go to top spot with a 54.772. 200th of a second. Actually, 2,000ths. How about 200ths of a second over James Warring? Going to Warring down to that 2nd spot. McCullough now to the top. Richard Elliott out here on the racetrack. Elliott making his way around. Going to come across the stripe there. That's for his warm-up lap. Back for his warm-up stop. So we'll keep an eye here on John Ward. John Ward coming around, going to start his qualifying lap here as well. We've got Ward, McDonald, and Elliott all out there on the racetrack. We'll keep an eye on this qualifying time. See if anybody can knock Kenneth McCullough off the pole. The bad fast number 92 Toyota John Ward. Watch for him to put up a good time. He makes his way down the back straightaway, headed down to turn number 3. Like Elliott's going to come off at turn number 4. He's going to put up a time here first. We'll see what he comes across the stripe with. And that 02 Chevrolet. About 5 minutes left here in qualifying. Elliott not getting down on the apron as we saw most of these other guys do. He's going to come across the line. And he is going to go to 2nd. Second on the timing chart behind Kenneth McCullough. Here comes John Ward across the stripe. Watch for Ward to move up. Ward's going to take that 2nd spot away. So it's still Kenneth McCullough top spot John Ward, Richard Elliott now up to third. We've got Larry McDonald out there on the racetrack. My name's Chris Murphy here with the RSN Digital Racing Sports Network. Happy to be with you here tonight. Our first race covering the MMS Money Racing Series. Pleasure to be here. Reached out to Kenneth earlier here with the MMS Motorsports. But Larry McDonald going to come across the stripe. Makes his way through the trioval. Once again, another driver down on the apron coming across the line. Across the stripe, McDonald with a 54.803. That's going to put him fifth. Our early post hitter, James Warren, still in that fourth spot, but it's Kenneth McCullough on the pole. John Ward, Richard Elliott, James Warren, your top four. I don't see anybody else out there on the racetrack, and with only 3 minutes left to go here in qualifying, I think that's probably going to do it. I don't see anybody else making their way out there. You're not going to get out there and you might get a warm-up lap and a lap in 3 minutes, but we'll see if anybody tries it. All right, so here we are at Talladega Craftsman Truck Series for the MMS Racing. One of our sponsors up there in the top corner, TPR, Tanner Pettit Racing. I know we're pavement racing tonight, but Tanner Pettit Racing's got some of the best dirt track setups out there. So if you're racing sprint cars, especially sprint car stuff, if you're looking for get into the sprint car world, you want to get looking for a good setup, look at Tanner Pettit Racing. Got a discount code here somewhere. Where'd it go? TPR 24 for 10% off if you're looking at Tanner Pettit Racing. Yes, we've got looks like we've got Mark Vondell out here on the racetrack right now. Vondell's going to try to get a lap, and he's making his way around the top. See the trucks carry up through 3 and 4 on that warm-up lap. Trying to carry as much speed around the top of the racetrack. And then you're going to see him tuck down to the bottom of that yellow line as they make their way into 1 and 2. Here comes Vondell, and I gotta be rooting for Mark here. Got that Oregon logo there on the hood. Go Ducks. So Vondell's going to start his lap. We've also got Charlie Morgan out there on the racetrack and Cody Neagles. Watch for Neagles to put up a time if he can get a lap, and we've got about a minute and a half left to go. Yeah, they're going to get their laps in. So Vondell, Morgan, and Neagles out on the racetrack right now. Comes Vondell making his way off of turn number 4 down that front straightaway. Down the apron comes Vondell. He's going to come across the line. And Vondell's not going to do any better than a fifth spot for Mark Vondell, the 54.789. That is going to leave Morgan and Neagles out on the racetrack. Morgan comes across the line up into the 6th spot with a 54.80. Let's see what Neagles can put down out here in the number 6 Chevrolet. Making his way down the back straightaway into turn number 3 for his qualifying lap. He's got about 48 seconds left to go, so this will be the last car to make a lap. Cody Neagles rolling off of turn number 4. Going to come across the front straightaway through the trioval section down to the line. 35 seconds left to go here in qualifying. Neagles going to come across the stripe. And it's fast time for Cody Neagles. 54.770, 2 thousandths of a second. Better than Kenneth McCullough. So Neagles going to take the top spot with only about 15 seconds left to go in qualifying. So Neagles, McCullough, John Ward, Richard Elliott, and James Warren, your top 5 there in qualifying. As we've got about, looks like we're going to have a 10-minute warm-up session. These are always tough for me to fill, so we're going to see what we can find out here for you real quick. As we've got warm-up session getting ready to go. Once again, my name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network. Thanks for being here with us tonight. If you haven't been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a like. One of our sponsors for Scott's Nuts, smokes pistachios at scottsnuts.com, spelled with a Z. Man, if you like delicious flavored smoked pistachios, check out Scott's Nuts. He had a good slogan for him at one point, but all right. So if you're looking to get in some really competitive racing, check out this MMS. You can find yourself a link on the Discord there on the scrolling bar across the bottom. You know, I should just put it in the. I guess I should put it into the chat, into the. That's probably the way for that now. But if you're looking for to get in some of these races, they're racing just about every single night, and a lot of super speedway stuff. Daytona, Talladega. We ran some ARCA trucks over the week, some ARCA cars over the weekend. Some we ran just a little bit about everything. So, all right, take a look here at Cody Nichols, your pole sitter, sitting here on pit road right now. The number 6 Chevrolet. Yeah, see what that says on the hood. Does that say? We'll just take a while. We've got 3 minutes left here in warm-ups. Yeah, like we said, we spent a little bit of time racing some of these over the weekend with these guys, and it's a tough crowd to keep up with. I'll tell you that for sure. But a lot of fun, a lot of good close racing. About 2.5 minutes here, close to 3 minutes here in the warm-up session. Ended up with 16 trucks. We had a couple guys show up late. Daniel Eberhardt. I'm really horrible with names, so if you guys are out there and I mispronounce your name, just come yell at me later. But Daniel Eberhardt and Dylan Jones showed up. I guess I can't mess up on Dylan Jones, but if anybody could, I could do it. Trust me. All right, beautiful sights here at Talladega, Alabama. If you haven't been to a race, NASCAR race, Talladega would be a fun one to go to for you. We made a couple trips down there ourselves over the years. Not really. Unfortunately, we didn't get to catch a race, but got to tour the speedway, and it is a sight to see. We've got a bunch of different camera angles we're going to play with here tonight. So, thanks to Trax Cams, Track Cams for Gourmets, Track Cams 22. That's really great angles. I've spent a lot of time putting these together. All right, we got about a minute and a half here left in warm-ups, and we'll get rolling out here on the racetrack. Take a look at the weather conditions here for tonight, or today, whenever the heck it is. So, pretty cool, 73 degrees in Alabama. That's going to make the track temperature, what is it, 132 degree track temperature. So, cars get a little bit loose on that, a little bit hard on tires, but we're only running, 40 laps. So you could easily make all 40 laps here without making a tire change, but we're definitely going to have to get some fuel at some point or another. 16 trucks. We could see this go caution free. I've yet to see one go caution free in the last 3 or 4 days, but the quality of drivers we have in here tonight easily go caution free for sure. About 40 seconds here left in warm-ups. My name is Chris Murphy, DRSN. Bringing you the MMS Money Racing Craftsman Truck here at Talladega for tonight. All right, about 15 seconds. We're going to get everybody gridded up. Then we're going to have about 3 or 4 minutes to get trucks onto the racetrack after our 5-minute warm-up. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll go through the grid once they get all lined up. If you are a fellow broadcaster or use SDK software that we use, got to really give them a lot of credit. They've really been good to us over the last few months. Really supportive. So if you're looking for your overlay software SDK is definitely one I would recommend. But also you're going to see some different graphics that we use tonight that you don't see anywhere else. A good friend of ours by the name of Shane Cochran puts these together, these plugins for this SDK software. So if you're looking for some of this stuff, you can find him on the SDK Discord. He's putting together some of the best graphics you're going to find when it comes to this software. All right, this we're getting everybody gridded up. Going to get ready to roll here. I'm going to take about 5 seconds to get a quick drink while they're gridding up. We'll be right back. Hey, little Cheney, thanks for chiming in there in the chat. You're welcome, buddy. Happy to be here. All right, we're gonna get the grid rolling here. Cody Eagles there on the pole. Here's our starting lineup. Cody Eagles, P1 outside. The front row is gonna be Kenneth McCullough Jr. in the 03 Chevrolet. Inside of row number 2. Look for that bad fast 92 to get to the front. Get to the front in a hurry. 02 of Richard Elliott. They're starting in 4th. In 5th, it's the 13 of James Warren. Outside of him in the Go Ducks, Oregon, Mark Vondale. Starting in 7th in the 69, Charlie Morgan. Outside of him in the number 74 is Larry McDonald. Back there in 9th, it's going to be Corey Cheney. I watched for that number 11 to get to the front as well. Michael Barksdale in the 00 starting 10th. In 11th, it's Dylan C. Jones in the number 16. Outside of him in the number 90 is Daniel Eberhardt. Back in 13th, it's going to be Joshua McCullough in the number 14. And outside in P14, it's going to be the number 8 of Matthew Patton. In the 15 starting spot, number 27, Joey Allen. And outside him starting tail in the field, the number 16. And it looks like John Ward's dropped into the pit, so it looks like John Ward is going to start from pit road. All right, so we got Neagles going to bring him to the stripe. We get ready to head off of turn number 4 for the first time to start lap number 1 of 40. Roll off of turn number 4 here at Talladega. Down to the tribal. Pace car is going to pull off Neagles and McCullough, bringing us to the stripe. Neagles with a little bit of about a truck length advantage over McCullough here as he's rolling up to the line. He's going to start here late. And we are green flag here at Talladega on a Monday night for the MMS Racing. It's Cody Neagles, McCullough. John Ward makes his way out of the pits. We looks like we're gonna go around for one more pace lap here. It looks like a manual pace lap. I got all excited for nothing. I thought for some reason my game was rolling and slow-mo for some reason. So we're gonna roll around one more lap here. Looks like we're gonna have 39 laps instead of 40. Hey Mark Pearson, hey buddy, thanks for being out there. Appreciate you chiming in. All right, we're going green on the back straightaway. A little bit different start here. We are side by side into 3. It is Neagles and McCullough. We are 2 by 2 all the way throughout the pack. Neagles on the bottom. McCullough noses just a little bit over 3 wider in the back. In the middle of the racetrack, that looked like 11 of Corey Cheney kind of peeking his nose out there. He's looking to make an extra line. We were now 3 wide as we head into turn number 1. Down to the trial, completing lap number 1. McCullough going to nose out in front just a little bit. And here comes that outside line. We're 2x2 for about the first 10 or 12 spots. Then we're 3 wide for about 13th and 14th back there. It looks like Jones and Allen. Oh, big dive out there from the 00. Barksdale, he jumps up. He sees that outside line coming. He's going to jump up to the top. But in the meantime, that middle line is moving, and it's McCullough. But here comes the 6 of Neagles back on the bottom. He is getting a big push right there from the 13th of James Warren. They've also got the 20. The 69, sorry, of Charlie Morgan giving him a shove as well. So the 03 going to middle out, inch out just a little bit more. We come across the line, start lap number 3, and it's going to be Kenneth McCullough leading this lap. But nope, here comes Neagles back to the bottom. We are side by side across the stripe to start lap number 3 here at Talladega. Three wide now. McCullough to the top. The 02 of Elliott stuck in the middle. Here comes the number 8 of Patton. A little bit sideways. Gets a little bump into the back of McCullough and loses a little bit. That's going to let Neagles move up to the middle of the racetrack. Neagles now to the top of the racetrack. He saw that outside line coming. Went up to block it off. 3 wide through 3 and 4 one more time. Neagles way up on the top. McCullough now in the middle. I think it's a 69 of Morgan down there on the bottom of the racetrack. I gotta change my, there we go. We jump in the truck here with James Warren. He has tucked up the back of, it looks like the number 8 of Patton right there in front of him. A little wiggle down there. We got the 90 truck down there on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Daniel Eberhardt. He's sideways. Eberhardt, he gets back up on the racetrack, loses it again. That's a hard transition to make. He's going to spin around, and we are going to have our first caution. Eberhardt kind of got himself down there on the apron of the racetrack. Tried to get it back up onto the banking, coming off a 2, and that is a tough transition to make, and he lost the back of that truck, spun around. That is going to be our first caution flag here at lap number 3. We'll see if we can go back here and see what happened to Eberhardt. All right, so he gets down there on the bottom. Get rewound enough. He's on the bottom of the racetrack, tries to get back up, catches that apron. It's even tough when you're coming out of the pits right there. It's a pretty thin, flat spot. You're trying to stay down underneath the yellow line, and you caught that left front tire down there in that little transition. Yeah, double live picks. I'm not sure what that false start. I don't know what that start was for either. I think what they did was they were letting John Ward get back up. I think he had to get into the pits for some reason, and I think that's what that start was for. I was a little puzzled by it myself. All right, so we are under caution here. Looks like we got 4 laps down according to my timing and scoring. We're going to see. Anybody going to dive into the pits? I don't think so. It'd be pretty early here to pit. We look here at the 6th truck of Neagles, our pole sitter. All right, this is what you go to a race at Talladega, sitting up in the grandstands. This is what it's going to look like. We'll give you this little bit of a view, and that's just how big this place is. Trying to look all the way down into turn number 2. 16 trucks here tonight. 16 still on the racetrack, at least. McCullough, Neagles, Morgan, Patton, your top 4. McDonald, John Ward in the 6th spot. Our big mover is Matthew Patton. Take a look here at Matt. And that number 8 truck, he's up 10 spots, started in 14th, already up to 4th. All right, get back to live time here. All right, we're going to go around at least one more time and come across the stripe here. It's looks like everybody's going to dive down into the pits. Full pit stops for the whole field. All 16 trucks diving in here on lap number 4. Can they go 36 laps on fuel from here? I think it'd be pretty close. Pretty tight. All right, so as we got pit stops rolling here right now, let's see what the drivers are doing. I'm thinking this is going to be fuel only for sure. I don't see why anybody would take tires. Definitely the case right there. There are pit stops there. 7.2 second stop from Ward. But it's going to be Neagles getting out of the pits first. Nice, efficient 5.6 second stop from Cody Neagles. Taking on just enough fuel to get going here for the rest of it. It didn't use much up, only running to four laps here, but... All right. Getting lined up back here behind the pace car one more time. We can take a look at our pit stop stats here. So it looks like most of the field up front just took fuel only. 11th on back had to take a little bit of repairs in the pits for a little bit longer, according to our graphic here. And I'm looking there. Yeah, we still got John Ward, Eberhardt, and William Scott still in the pits right now, trying to get some repairs done. So there must have been a little bit more action going on back there that we missed when Eberhardt spun down to the inside of the racetrack. All right, so light's still on the pace car, so we're going to take at least one more lap to roll through 3 and 4 here. Taking a look here at Cody Neagles in the 6 truck. Nightmare Esports leading this race right now in the number 6 Chevrolet. Yeah, looks like we got a few more drivers going to dive down to the pits here again and top off one more time. I think we got Neagles in the pits, Patton, McDonald, Cheney, Jones, and Elliott all diving in. In the meantime, we see John Ward out here making some repairs. He's going to try to catch back up to the tail of the field. Eberhardt and William Scott all trying to catch the back of the field right now, but 16 trucks. Early caution here on lap number 4. I think my scoring's not doing a very good job here. Let's see here. So we're rolling through 1 and 2. We're going to take a quick look here again one more time. See if I can see what happened here. I think there was more that happened than what we caught on that last replay. See John Ward kind of going up the track. Catch it. Oh, he catches Warren right there. So Ward and Warren got together. We kind of started that deal. We missed that earlier. They're hard on the brakes now. The 87 trying to stay out of it. The 27. Looks like the 87 is going to get into it there just a little bit. Yeah, a lot more contact than what we saw. We just kind of saw Eberhardt down there on the bottom of the racetrack, but Cheney down there on the bottom didn't look like he took a whole bunch of damage. Yeah, a lot more contact than we originally had thought right there. So going to roll around here through 3 and 4, come to the green though. Welcome to DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network, bringing you the MMS Money Racing Craftsman Trucks at Talladega here for a Monday night. Thanks for being here with us. Give us a like and a subscribe out there. Appreciate it. We're going to come to the line here. 6 laps down. We're going to start lap number 7 of 40. McCullough going to start down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Charlie Morgan up on the outside. We're going to do a little crank it up here as they go green flag. McCullough, Morgan, Waring, your top 3. Come down through the travel up to the line one more time. Going to start lap number 7. McCullough bringing him to the stripe. And we're crashing down the bottom of the racetrack. It's Morgan in the 69 down on the apron. we're going to stay green. Didn't see exactly what the contact there was. But unfortunately, Morgan was running up in the top two, top three. He's now down to the bottom. Here comes the 14 of Joshua McCullough now. Started back in 13th. He finds his way to the front. Matt Patton right there in the number 8. Two drivers have started way back in the field, have now made their way to the front. Kenneth McCullough falling back to third. Warren back there in fourth, looking for a place to go. Watch that outside line. They got a little bit more help than that bottom does. McCullough and McCullough side by side for the lead here. Kenneth's going to take the lead right there. Warren kind of jockeying around all over the place back there. He's got to be careful, stay off the back of that 03. Doesn't want to get him loose through the center of the corner. And we're 3 wide towards the back. McCullough, James Warren, and the 02 of Richard Elliott now with a good push. That top 3, that outside really rolling. But here comes Joshua McCullough down on the bottom. He's got Richard Elliott behind him and the 80 of McDonald. Actually, it looks like the 27 of Joey Allen right there with him. We are 2 by 2 off of turn number 4 through the tri-oval one more time. And lap number 8 starting lap number 9. It is McCullough, Kenneth, and Joshua McCullough side by side for the lead. Head down at turn number 1 as we start at lap number 10. That outside line starting to move forward a little bit. We see that with these fixed setups. That outside line can really get rolling early on. That bottom line's really got to get back together. Oh, Warren to the outside of Kenneth McCullough. Going to leave McCullough stuck in the middle. He's got Elliott pushing behind him. And here comes the 11 of Corey Chaney up on the outside behind James Warren in the 13. They are going to go to the front, but here comes that middle lane. They've got a little bit more help. They've got 3 cars with them. It is Kenneth McCullough in the middle there, the 02 of Richard Elliott. And it looks like the 27 of Joey Allen right there as well. But Warren and Chaney are got 2 cars up on the top, are really making it work. But look for that bottom. Here comes the bottom one more time. It is McCullough, Patton, and the 27, I believe, of the 74, right there in that 3rd spot down there on the bottom. We're still 3 wide through 1 and 2. Oh, Warren with a big bobble saves it. Just went down to side, tried to side draft off of Elliott a little bit, and just about lost it. Back up to the front, it's Kenneth McCullough and James Warren now. McCullough moves back to the top of the racetrack. He kind of left Elliott sitting there in the middle, so Elliott and Joey Allen and the 27 falling back. That 8 truck of Matt Patton is doing a great job pushing Joshua McCullough to the front. I'll tell you just how tough it is to see inside these trucks. You get down to the corner like that, and look, McCullough is going to drop down to the bottom. He's going to leave Warren on the outside. He's going to try to move back up, but Warren is there. He has got it up on the quarter panel, but here comes McCullough one more time in the middle of the racetrack. McCullough just trying to find the best pusher he can. He is going to abandon Warren up there, and he has got the 11 of Corey Chaney with a big shove through the middle of the racetrack. That is going to put Kenneth McCullough back to the front. Back up to the top. That left Chaney alone in the sucker hole. But here comes the 14. We've got a big push there. The 8 of Matt Patton kind of got into the back of McCullough right there. Got him a little bit loose. Josh was able to hang on to it. Matt kind of backs off. Thanks for that up there, Mark. Appreciate it. Take a look back further through the field. We're looking for John Ward. He's kind of lurking back here. I don't know if he took a whole lot of damage there, but he is trying to work his way back up through the pack. And you can see James Warren's kind of falling back here now. Warren was up there fighting for the lead. He is now back in 9th. But it doesn't take much to go from the back to the front here at Talladega. As McCulloughs have teamed up on the outside, it is Josh to the front. Kenneth McCullough right there behind him. I don't know if they go by Josh and Kenneth. Need to figure some of that stuff out, I guess, before we start. Look at that 8 truck down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Good shot looking down the front straightaway into turn number 1. It is the 14 in the 03. 14 kind of looking to the bottom. He's going to leave Kenneth up on top of the racetrack. Josh down to the bottom. Pick Matt Patton back up again one more time. It is the 03 and the 02 on the outside. And look at Corey Cheney working his way back up here one more time. He kind of got stuck in the middle here a little bit ago, but 16 cars out here. It looks like 13 still in the lead draft. The 14th place of William Scott has lost the draft. He's back there with Charlie Morgan trying to catch this field. They're hoping for a caution. And it's Michael Barksdale back there as well. So 13 laps down, set 27 left to go. And we have been side by side this entire race. It is McCullough and McCullough out in front. Matt Patton in third. Richard Elliott fourth. Larry McDonald fifth. Corey Cheney sixth. Mark Vondell, James Warren, Cody Neagles, Joey Allen going to round out our top 10. I'm still pulling for that 59 truck with the Go Ducks on the hood. Let's go. Come on, Oregon. Get up there. That outside line starting to get a little bit of a run again. Here comes Kenneth McCullough. He's going to get clear. Let's see if he stays up there or drops down to the bottom in front of that 14. He's kind of been dancing around here trying to find the right dancing partner. These guys ran a lot of laps together. They know exactly what each one of them's going to do. They know who they can race with, who they can trust. Take a look here at Richard Elliott, tucked up underneath the back of the 03 truck, trying to give him a shove to the front. All right, we've only had one caution in this race, and it was back on like lap number 3. We have been clean and green ever since. It is McCullough, Elliott, and Cheney now, your top 3. James Warren has worked his way back up into the top 5. He's got the 14 of Josh McCullough down there on the bottom of the racetrack. McCullough and Patton have been glued together for about the last 10 laps. And they've got the 27 of Joey Allen up on the outside. McCullough, Elliott, Cheney now. Cheney's found his way down to lead that bottom line. He's got Warren right behind him in that 13. Watch that 11 and 13 work together. We saw them working together last night as well. McCullough has been out in front of this race either first, second, or third for the last 10 to 15 laps. Eagles with a late pit stop in that 6 truck finds himself. Where is Neagles? Neagles back here in the 10th spot in that number 6. He pole sitter was up there in the front. Kind of took a late pit stop to try to top off with fuel. Not sure if he can go the rest of the distance or not, but he is climbing his way back up. There's kind of been lurking back here in the back of the pack. I don't think he's going to get up there and mix it up. Keep an eye on that 6 of Neagles as Corey Cheney now pokes his nose to the front. That 02 truck up there, up on the top behind McCullough, has done a great job of pushing. Jump in the truck with him here. Oh, as I say that, McCullough moved down to the bottom. You can see what it looks like trying to get into the corners here, especially when you're tucked up really close up behind somebody. You got to make a lot of laps around here just to even remember where the corners are. As you can see right here from the view of James Warren. You're coming down on the bottom of this, and you're kind of watching that yellow line to know where to turn at, but you're also watching that truck in front of you at the same time. And look at that, the 02, he has been pushing this entire race. He's now found his way to the front. He has got the 27 of Joey Allen, who started back in 15th, now up 13 spots. Right there behind him. Come down the back straightaway here. Elliott, Allen, McCullough. I think everybody's kind of settled in here. We've got 22 laps to go. We're almost to the halfway point of this 40-lap race. looks like we're going to have some green flag stops. Eberhardt, Niegels, and Dylan Jones all going to dive down into the pits. Looks like they're going to try to short pit here. Our first green flag stops is going to see Eberhardt, Niegels, and Dylan. Take a look at those pit times down on the bottom of the bottom screen. In the meantime, they've single filed out. I think we're going to see some pit stops from just about everybody here. I think that's exactly what we're trying to get in shape for. They get at a double file. Are all getting lined up. I bet we see this entire field dive down to the pits as they come off of turn number 4. It is Elliott, Allen, McCullough, and Kenneth McCullough there in the top 3. Scott's still down pit road. Niegels has made his way out. Jones has made his way out. So let's see what happens. Yes, they're going to roll down here. Oh, it looks like a couple guys are going to stay out. Oh, we're crashing. 27. We're piling up into the pits. The 8 gets into the back of the 11 to Corey Cheney. Cheney finds his way out in the grass. These green flag stops can be tough here at Dega. As it looked like Larry and where he went caution. But we got some drivers caught on pit road on the caution. Let's see if they keep on the same lap. Our leaders are rolling off of turn number 2. Leaders are still going to have to pit. We're going to go back and see if we can see what happened there. My pro would... Let's see here. Alright, we'll see if we can see what happened. Get on. Alright, gotta rewind that just a little bit here. Alright, so it looks like the 8 truck. Looks like the 8 truck might have. I'd hate to rewind, but it's the only way I'm gonna get a good angle of this. Alright, let's see what our best angle of this is here. Looks like this is gonna be a good shot. Let's watch the 8 truck of Patton. Gets on the brakes hard. He's the first one to lose it. He comes down and catches the 11. The 27 is also kind of getting loose at the same time. So it looked like that from our angle anyway. It looked like the 8. Take a look here one more time. Maybe I went back too far. We're gonna roll down the front back straightaway here. Just see if we can kind of catch this in live time. Alright, we'll watch it here one more time. Yeah, and it was the 8 truck. Just got on the binders, lost the back of the truck, got down into the 11. The 27, I think, was an incident of its own right there in front of him, or unless the 11 caught the back of him. But we're going to get back to live time. So green flags, that's just how tough it is getting in the pits here at Talladega. Everybody coming down off of pit road now. Definitely going to be able to, got to be able to make it from here to the end. That is going to put Joey Allen out in front of the field here in the 27. So Joey got a little bit sideways there, about spun around. And it looks like Cheney's going to try to pit one more time here in that number 11. He's got some repairs to make, so let's take a look at our pit times here. If I can find the right button. So it looks like maybe Joey Allen fuel only, some repairs from a lot of drivers out there. Patton definitely had to take on some repairs. Josh McCullough as well got involved in that. Some fuel only. And it looks like Cheney now making his way back out on the racetrack. So, unfortunately, we had some really good racing going on there. And just unfortunate incident trying to get down into the pits on the green flag. That's the way, I jumped into one of these races last Friday night. And I spent an hour, because I hadn't really pitted much in these conditions. I spent the whole hour just getting in and out of the pits under green flag, kind of simulating a green flag, just so I would try not to run anybody over. And even with that, it is tough to get down off that apron, especially when you're all in a straight line like that. And you can see what happens right there. You get one truck that just makes a little bit of a mistake, gets into the pits, gets on the brakes too hard. And that's exactly what happened right there on our green flag stops. Well, it looks like Joey Allen wasn't able to get any service. So it looks like the whole rest of the field going to come in and top off with fuel here with, I've got 19 laps left to go, so I'm guessing we're going to have about 18 or 17 when we go back to green. William Scott in the number 3 and McCullough. Ken McCullough going to stay out there on the racetrack. Hey, a couple of our sponsors up here haven't mentioned Stein's Designs. My good buddy Stein puts together some really good liveries. If you're looking for a paint job for one of your hot rods, you can find Stein's Designs on Facebook. I should have a link. That would be really helpful, wouldn't it? Once again, I'm Chris Murphy here with DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network, bringing you the MMS Money Racing. They put a race together just about every single night. You can find something going on with this group. You can find the Dega Pros or MMS Racing. There's a bunch of different leagues. Another one of our sponsors, Scott's Nuts, smoked pistachios. I used to work with Scott. Decided to start his own business when he retired. Started making flavored pistachios, smoked flavored. Man, they are delicious. So check it out at scottsnuts.com. Told me if I plugged him a couple times, he'd give me a free bag of nuts. Alright, appreciate you being out there. First time here, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it, Mark. Giving us a plug out there, Mark Pearson. Surprised you're not here with us tonight, buddy. Alright, we're going to go green here. Next time by, we're rolling through 3 and 4. It is going to be William Scott at the point. Scott started tail of the field. Started back in the 16th. Got here late. Didn't make qualifying. Started dead last, and he finds his way out the front. But he's got the pole sitter, Cody Neagles, right up on his tailgate. We are going to roll through. Come up into the trial one more time here. We're going to be starting lap number 23, 22 down right now. And Scott's going to bring us to the stripe. He's got McCullough up on his outside. Neagles, John Ward all in a single line. I'm not sure why we're not doubled up, but we are going to go green one more time with a single lane down on the bottom. McCullough up on the outside. Scott with a good jump. That's going to allow McCullough to slide down in front of Neagles. I don't know if that was intentional or what there. Neagles now slides up to the top of the racetrack all by himself. So I'm not sure what we got going on, but it's a little bit of an odd start. I should have race control in my ear so I can figure out what the heck's going on here. But Scott and McCullough are going to get a little bit of a gap. That is not going to be to their liking. You get two cars out in front by yourself with that big of a gap, that pack is going to run them down. But Ward and Elliott kind of 2 by 2 behind him there as well. And they are starting to creep up on the back of this two-car draft here pretty quickly. Might have been one of the sloppiest. I don't know what that start was. I really don't, because it just didn't make much sense to me. We're all single file here. They must have organized something in race control. The Eagles just keep sliding back. I don't know if he took damage or what's going on, but our pole sitter not looking really sharp right now. Maybe he's just trying to stay out of trouble here. As we've got kind of a little bit of a four truck breakaway here. It is Scott, Kenneth McCullough, John Ward, and Richard Elliott now. And they have got roughly about a second back. So the number 8 of Patton, Charlie Morgan, and we're looking at Mark Mondell, Barksville, Larry McDonald, and then Cody Neagles, our pole sitter, like we said, kind of falling back through the field here. Take a look here. Take a look here from the onboard cam of Kenneth McCullough. Look back from William Scott, you can see McCullough just tucked right up underneath the back of that 3 truck. We are a single file all the way throughout the pack right now. All right. It looks like we're getting kind of grouped back up here one more time as the 8 of Patton has made his way up to the back of this 4-car field, and everybody else starting to group back up here. I think we're going to see some side-by-side racing once again. Everybody kind of settle in here. Got 15 laps to go, 25 laps down. Scott, McCullough, and Ward, your top 3. Take a look back in the field. We take a look here at Cody Neagles in that 6th. He's dropped back to 11th. He's got the 90 of Daniel Eberhardt, the third, right there in front of him. And we see the 14 of Joshua McCullough. He was up in the front of this pack quite a bit early in this race. He's going to be the first one to look to the outside. He's got the 27 of Joey Allen with a little bit of help, and they're making up a little bit of ground. Let's see how far they can go with this run. Corey Cheney's going to jump up there with him. I think the 74 thought about jumping up there as well, but it was a little bit too late. That outside, oh, Cheney finds a hole down on the bottom of the racetrack. That was pretty tight as Cheney got in behind the number 6 of Neagles. And we are... I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but everybody's coming down into pit road one more time. And I know we only had like 50% fuel load, but... Alright, that's going to leave Scott... I don't know if anybody in the chat knows what the hell's going on, you can tell me, but Scott's going to lose that inside line and go up to the top of the racetrack, and look at that. We were just looking at Joshua McCullough making a run on the outside. Made his way back to the front. It's McCullough, Eberhardt, and Neagles. And the whole rest of this pack all just pitted. I'm sure that was fuel only. I'm going to have to get a little clarification after this race is over. So, once again, if anybody in chat knows, has a little more information than I do, let me know. It seemed kind of awful early to pit. Because everybody pitted, what, on lap 27? Or actually... Excuse me, back on lap. So it only went about 5 laps and they all put it one more time, so. I didn't get out there and do any testing early to see what the fuel load was going to be. Look who's to the point now. It's Daniel Eberhardt in the 90. And he has got Cody Neagles right there behind him. That's a long... You're sitting up in the grandstands up here. That's a long way to look across the back straightaway. All right, let's see what this backpack is doing. Let's see, they're coming to see. We got the leaders here rolling through 3 and 4. That other pack kind of getting grouped up. I see the 00 of Barksdale down in the pits right now. '74, Larry McDonald's made his way up into this fight. All right, let's take a look at this second pack. So the second pack being led by Patton, Kenneth McCullough, Richard Elliott, Mark Londell. John Ward's in this pack as well. We got 5 right here, so let's see what happened with this. We got a six truck breakaway out here in the front all by themselves. They're heading down the back straightaway as that other pack's coming in through the tri-oval. And then we've got some stragglers back there. It looks like the 69 of Morgan's kind of by himself here with James Warren, Corey Cheney, and Joey Allen kind of teamed up back here. So we're kind of spread out all over the racetrack right now. But it's this lead pack up here of Eberhardt, Neagles, McDonald, Jones, and Joshua McCullough. And at number 3 of William Scott's in danger of losing this draft if he can't get sucked up here pretty quick. Hey Justin, thanks for jumping on there. Appreciate it. All right, we got somebody down there coming out of the pits right now. Looks like we got somebody down there. Looks like the 00 Barksdale. Gonna try to see if he can get out there and catch the back of this draft. He is gonna be close, but I don't. He's gonna get up to speed and sneak up in there behind McCullough. So let's see if Barksdale can hang on here. He's gonna move down out of the way, get out of the way of that number 3 truck. Our lead group: Eberhardt, Neagles, McDonald, and Jones, and Joshua McCullough. William Scott still trying to reel him in here. It looks like they're coming down to pits right now. It looks like this whole group's going to dive in. Nope. Looks like they were slowing down there a little bit. I guess they would have came in a little sooner than that. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so let's take a look at this. This middle pack is making up a little bit of ground. Let's see, they're about 31.8 seconds back. Oh, I just pulled this timing tower. It makes it a lot easier for everybody to see. All right, so about 30 seconds back right now. See if they make up any ground. They are staying in line. Nobody's trying to fight here. They want to try to make up as much ground as they can, so that lead pack must have to pit is my guess. These guys are short pitting, so I think if that top group still has to pit, that back group's really organized pretty well together on that second pack. And we got a bunch of drivers back there looking for some caution flags. We got Warren, Morgan, Cheney, Allen, all kind of out there by themselves, hoping for a break here to get back into this race. That 3 truck of Scott did a good job getting to this field, but he's jumping up to the outside kind of by himself again. Maybe getting a little bit of air, maybe overheating. I'm not sure, but I got my view here a little bit skewed from my in-car racing on the triple, so that looks a little weird. So we're going gyro instead. So the Eagles here. Now you can see what I'm talking about. You go into these corners. These guys have made so many laps around this racetrack, they know exactly where that turn's coming up. But for a guy like me that's maybe only run, 100, 150, a couple hundred laps around this place, you get this close behind somebody, you're just looking for that yellow line down there, trying to figure out where the heck to turn at. And I've actually missed the corner a couple times. I've seen other guys do it as well. And you can see the Eagles right here trying to get Eberhard a push. He is tucked right underneath there, and you don't even really have to push with these trucks. There's a little bit of an air bubble in here. If you just stay tight, you can really pick up some speed without really getting up there and beating them, banging, and potentially causing an issue. We see that 3 truck of Scott up there on the outside again, kind of slowing his pack a little bit. If he can stay single file here, they can put a little more distance on that second group. Because I'm looking up there, and they've actually put a little distance on it. It was down to about 30.4, and they've gained about a second. So. And here they come down to the pits. So our top group going to come down to the pits. Let's see if they can get in here cleanly. Everybody gets woed up pretty good. The 14 of Joshua McCullough hard on the brakes right there, but I think everybody got in just fine. So let's keep an eye on Matt Patton here. This second group, they're coming into turn number 3. I wish I could do split screen, but... All right, 7 laps left to go. This is going to be for the race lead. So we got Neagles here. Just now making it to his pit stop. I see the 74 having to back up. He missed his spot. Unfortunate there for Larry McDonald. All right, so we got Eberhard going to make his way out of the pits. He is going to come down the stripe. Here comes that second group of Patton, McCullough, Elliott. They are going to definitely run these guys down, but can Eberhard get up onto the racetrack quickly enough? They're not going to have a whole lot of time to make up whatever ground they lose right here. This is going to be a fight for the lead. Here comes Eberhard now. They might be close enough to hang on to that draft. It is going to be really close. They're going to drop back here just a little bit. They got to get it wound up through 3 and 4. We got 6 laps left to go. I think a real victim in this race. Let's see here. We look back here to Morgan and Warren. They're trying to make their way back up here, but this is going to be the fight for the lead. We're going to see those 3 trucks right there behind. I think they're going to catch up to this group. 6 laps left to go. It is Matt Patton, Kenneth McCullough, Richard Elliott, Mark Vondell, John Ward, Eberhard, Daniel Eberhard. And there goes McCullough to the outside. They've been grouped up pretty good, working together, but they are all going to leave Patton down on the bottom of the racetrack. Ward going to jump down and try to give him a little bit of help. Take a wide shot. You can see that 90 truck. Look at Eberhard with a big run down to the bottom of the racetrack. But he's by himself down there right now. Well, he had a huge run. If somebody would have went with him, I think he might have been able to get to the front. But unfortunately, he is going to drop all the way to the back of this pack. McCullough and Elliott now. And here comes that 59 of Mark Vondell. He's been my vote for the whole race for the Oregon Ducks on the hood. My prediction, if Vondell can win this race, the Ducks are going to put Texas Tech away on Thursday. So come on, Mark, get up there. He looks down to the bottom of the racetrack. McCullough, Elliott, Joshua McCullough there up on the outside now. Patton down to the bottom. Vondell and John Ward. 4 laps left to go. We're still side by side. Got 8 trucks here fighting it out for the lead. Unless there was a caution. Oh, Vondell down to the bottom of the racetrack. I don't know if he had a... Oh, he just kind of got down on the apron. He's going to be able to slide back up in front of Ward. Not quite sure what happened right there, but I think he just got a little bit loose and had to chase the truck down to the bottom. Come off of turn 4 one more time. Going to come across the stripe. 3 laps left to go. 37 laps down. This 40 lap feature. Oh, the 00 trying to find a spot down there through the middle. And Patton's now worked his way to the point. Patton, Vondell, and John Ward worked really well together down there on the bottom. That 16 truck of Jones now. These guys are they wanting to crash? I'm not quite sure, but they are slicing and dicing down the back straightaway. 3 laps left to go. You'd think it was the last lap. Look at Patton. He's going from the top to the bottom. He picks up the 90. Eberhardt down on the bottom of the racetrack. Ward and Josh McCullough, they're in the middle. Up on the outside, it's Dylan Jones. John Ward now to the front. Patton, not much help down on the bottom of the racetrack. That middle line looks pretty strong, but here comes the outside of Dylan Jones. He has got Kenneth McCullough in the 03 tucked up right behind him. 2 laps left to go. We head through turns 1 and 2 one more time. Down the back straightaway. Jones to the front. I don't think we said Dylan's name most of this race, but he is now out in the lead. And we're single file now down the back straightaway. Heading into 3 and 4. Heading for the white flag. It's Dylan Jones, Kenneth McCullough, John Ward down there on the bottom. Richard Elliott in the 014 of Josh McCullough with a big shove to John Ward. Let's see if that's going to be enough as they come off of turn number 4. Josh McCullough's slide. We're 4 wide coming through the tri-oval. Vondell, Josh McCullough, Eberhardt, and Patton. Jones with a little separation. We come across the stripe. 1 more lap left to go here at Talladega. Patton with a big run down to the bottom of the racetrack. Jones, McCullough, Patton now. Patton's got help from the 92 of John Ward. The 02 gets pretty loose with a shove from the 90. Down the back straight, we head into turn number 3. Jones up on the outside. Watch that 8 and the 92 on the bottom. We got 5 trucks on the top. McCullough's been pretty stuck to Jones here for this last few laps. So he's going to leave him hanging here in about another 1,000 feet. Watch the 03. 90 of Eberhardt. The bottom line looks like to be in trouble right here as they come off of turn number 4. Jones with the lead. McCullough in second. Going to come to the tri-oval. It's going to be side by side. It's going to be Dylan Jones taking the win. Kenneth McCullough in second. Richard Elliott, great run right there. Right there at the last second, Kenneth McCullough tried to dive to the bottom of the racetrack. Just not enough. And that is going to give the 16 the sponsor list. If you're looking to sponsor a truck, there's your winner right there tonight. The 16 of Dylan Jones. No sponsor on the truck. Reach out to the 16. I'm sure he'd love to get some help. Let's see if we can go back there and see that finish one more time. I didn't really have a great camera angle for it. Let's see if we can find a little better one here. As we come to the line, you can see Jones up on the top of the racetrack. Patton gets a little push there from Vondell, gets a little loose. That really hurt that bottom line. And as they come to the stripe, you can see, watch McCullough in the 03. He's going to take a look to the bottom. Maybe just a little late. Not quite sure, but he's going to, right here, I think he was hoping that 02 was going to go with him. And they're going to come to the stripe. I think Kenneth timed that pretty well. If the 02 would have went with him right away. Let's see if we can go back and see. I got to get a better angle. I got to see here real quick. A good shot at the line. And that was the finish right there. Dylan Jones by about a front bumper over Kenneth McCullough. Fantastic race here at Talladega for the MMS. 16 truck field. Wasn't the biggest field, but trust me, these guys are always going to put on a show, whether there's 5 trucks or 50. Let's take a look at our results here. And it was Dylan Jones in the 16th, started back in 11th, made his way up 10 spots to take the win here tonight. Kenneth McCullough in second. Kenneth McCullough was up front all night long. Richard Elliott in the 0-2 with a great run there, coming home in the top 3. Daniel Eberhardt going to be 4th, and Joshua McCullough is going to take home the 5th place money. Right there behind him, Matt Patton. I know Matt was expecting a better run than that. He was up front for a long time, but he's going to come home in 6th. John Ward, Mark Mondell. I guess that might not be a good one for my Ducks here. He's going to finish back in 8th. Corey Cheney makes a good recovery after some damage early on. Gets up to 11th. Up to 9th spot. Back there in 10th going to be Charlie Morgan in 11th spot. William Scott in the 3. I think Scott was with that lead pack there before that last pit stop. I think he made a little bit of a mistake in the pits, and he ended up way out of the draft. Cody Neagles, our pole sitter, in the 6th. Must have had some damage or something. I'm not sure what happened there with Cody, but he's back there in 12th. Larry McDonald, James Warren, Joey Allen, and the last place truck out of our 16-car field, Michael Barksdale. So great run here tonight. I don't think I have anybody in the waiting room wanting to jump in here. But really want to thank the MMS group for having us tonight. Been had some new stuff we needed to play with tonight and give us a good test, and really appreciate it. But hopefully we'll be around a little bit more often. Appreciate you guys being here with us. Chiming in the chat there, Mark, Justin, Double Apex, appreciate you guys there, and Cheney. But my name's Chris Murphy with DRSN, Digital Sports Racing Network. And let's see, our next show, we're covering a GT4 race tomorrow night for another network. And then our next show here on DRSN that we have scheduled right now is January 7th, which is a week from Wednesday, with the Aces Up Sim Sports 360 Sprint Winter Series. And if you're into sprint car racing and you're into some dirt track racing, don't miss out. Those guys put on one heck of a show. We got some of the best dirt track racers in iRacing in that league, and man, it's been a lot of fun to cover. We've had a 2-week hiatus from them, so going to be really happy to get back. We've got about 7 or 8 more races left in that series before it's over. So, also, if you got a league, you're looking to get something covered, special event, reach out. We've got a couple really good guys that work with us, and we've got some time. So, if something comes up and you're looking for somebody, reach out to us. You can find us on most of the Discords. You can find our Facebook page, DRSN. But once again, appreciate you being here. My name's Chris Murphy. We will catch you again next time. Don't miss that 360 Sprint Series on the 7th.